The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yes.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. So, have a great weekend, safe weekend. Let's make it a great week, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Surrender and let go of the past. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully in the moment. Letting go of the past means that you can enjoy the dream that is happening right here, right now. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not here. What are you doing right now? Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 61, NASDAQ off 30, S&P's off 11. Gold contract up $1.90, trading out at $1,544 an ounce. Silver up 39 cents at $36.59. Platinum down $8 at $1,810 an ounce. Copper off a penny at $4.12 a pound. Light sweet crude down $1.32, trading out at 98.90. You had the bond market down 7 ticks at 125.01. Dollar index up 22 ticks at 74.03. Yen down 6. Euro rather down 6 at 145, and the yen down 18 at 80.15. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have out here? We are at 1286. 1286 does 2 different deals here, folks. First off, you got by the swing point of April 18th. April 18th, we did 1 billion shares. You did 959 million today. You're going into the highs of the downdraft of the 16th of March. Now, what you have out here on the 16th of March is that you are dealing with 1.4 billion. So you're going to need some juice to blow that out. I suspect we're going to get a lot lower than that. But it's coming into that area. I mean, the top of that area is 1280. That's your S&P. You go over to the Dow Industrials, you take a look at the Dow. What you had inside the Dow out here today is this. Dow Industrial comes down 61. The Dow is going into the 12,093 level. We're at the 12,089. That is also the 18th. It's taking that out, and this is trying to work its way into that 11,857. The composite. We take a look at the NASDAQ composite. What we did with the composite is this. Composite comes down $30. We're at 2702. That 2702 takes out the April 18th level. The April 18th level, we did 1.8. We did 1.8 today. That also is making its way into that March 16th time frame. That March 16th time frame, folks, is a high volume low. So I suspect what we're going to have is that it's going to try to get it right into that baby. We'll see whether the volume expands or contracts. Because you remember what we're still dealing with here also is that you did that acceleration up on the 31st is hanging out there. And when I mean hanging out there, that can very well get tested real easy. Now, some of the high-volume stocks we have here, they were smoking the banks out here, and they were smoking the banks in a big way out here today, folks. This year's, 1 second. Okay, so what we had, if we go over to Bank of America first, you take a look at BAC. She was down 45 cents. She's at the $10.83 level. That little baby is, it started at $15, so now you're down 33%. But you're not only down 33%, you came down, and we came down with some real juice. What we did is this. We did 210 million shares out here. That level here, and this is saying it's this little trouble in paradise out here. It broke under the 1091 level, so it broke under all those lows that were established going back to October. That's a big number. That is no doubt a big number. Citigroup, same setup in Citigroup. Citigroup come down hard. That was down $1.78. That's off the high of $52. You're dealing with 38 right now. Gold. Let's go over to the gold contracts and take a look at gold. Now, what we had with gold is this. Gold today tries to get into the higher price point. It tested the highs of last Wednesday, which was 1551. It couldn't handle those highs, and as you basically came back, what we had done is that we get over those highs with 94,000 contracts versus 154,000. Gave it up. Now the actual equities, these equities are pretty intense. Let me show you one of them. One of them is Gold Corp. Now Gold Corp, folks, has been one of the stronger equities in the marketplace. So check it out. Gold Corp, of course, does business in the United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina. The low's 38, the high's 56. Their biggest mine is Red Lake in Ontario. But what happened out here today with Gold Corp is this, is that we got a slight expansion in volume as this baby is heading into the swing point. That swing point being $46.87. You break that swing with volume, this is big trouble right across the board. The reason being is that when you go from highs to lows, Gold Corp has held up. You know, when we're talking highs to lows, the high on Gold Corp is $8.56. And you can see, you know, $8 off it is not a big deal. Percentage-wise, it seems like a lot, but it's particularly nothing compared to what some of these other gold equities are off. So it's a big heads up. Now, over the weekend, what you had on a fundamental basis, and you got to remember something inside the resource business, your risk inside the resource, the biggest risk always inside the resource business is political risk. Well, there was some heavy political risk over the weekend here. What you had is that in Peru, the new guy that got elected in Peru, you know, we'll see how it shakes out, but the bottom line is that he was an ally of Chavez. They killed the resource stocks, no two ways about it. Now, we take a look at Southern Copper. Southern Copper, bottom line, monster mine in Peru. What does it do? It basically blows down about 12% ASAP. The amazing part, too, is that, you know, this is a stock that was at $50, it's at $30 now, and this little baby just busted apart. I mean, busted apart big. Took out B points, took them out with volume. Right now, you're back to 2009 levels. Check that out. And if you want to see how when you come off highs, and well, first off, when you get to highs with no volume, and then you come off highs with volume, you'll see just how intense something can get, and it's about as intense. It's big, folks. We go take a look at PAAS now. This little baby here. If you want to see something that, if folks don't understand what's happening in the business, okay, this morning as this opened up, it was amazing. What happened is that they held this stock up, and it actually went up higher. And I was watching this come across, and saying to myself, this is amazing. What people were doing here is that they were buying without understanding what was going on. You know, because PAAS, okay, huge mine, folks, no doubt, but its principal mine is in Peru, okay? So if you were waiting to buy something like this, okay, you know, bottom line is that, yeah, it's had a deep retracement. The stock had already gone from $43, you know, down to $31. And some folks just, I guess, wanted to buy it at the lower end of it. Well, bottom line is this. What you had is that you had folks coming in, buying it this morning, and, of course, you know, the news had already been out, but then they just smoked the stock. They pushed the stock up to 32, and then they just gave it up. Now, as it gave up, it also got under the 30.66 area. We went to got to 30.68. You did 2.3 million. You break that 30.66, and I suspect that's going to be big problems. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Let's go over and we take a look at Caterpillar. Now, Caterpillar had come off the highs. We knew they had come off the highs with volume after finishing an ABC structure on the way up. Caterpillar has gone from $116 down to $99. Caterpillar is going to start banging on this low out here of this $97. We'll see what happens once it gets down to that level. But the bottom line is that is pushing into lower levels, and we have volume expanding. Apple was absolutely all over the place today. This is what you had. Apple came out with its iCloud today. You had Steve Jobs come out, do the deal. Apple opened at 345, traded as high as 347, and then basically gave up 8 points ASAP. Now, Apple's still in that consolidation. You know, when this gave it up today, it wasn't bad, actually. You had a gap in Apple of 337.41. You got to 337.81. You had volume of 16 million. That 16 million is going into 21. Now, I suspect Apple wants to get into this 332, 320 again, but how it gets into it, if it comes into it just like it came into it today, that is saying that the consolidation will stay on. It is building cause, though, to break down. Each and every low is, the volume's not accelerating at the low, but the comparison between the lows and the highs are pretty dramatic. The first low out there on the 18th of January at 67 million, the second one 41, the third one 21. You can see that is contracting, but we now watch the highs. The first high out there had 17 million versus 67 down. Your next one had 19 million. Your next one had 12 million. And the last one last week had 19 million. Bottom line is that that's building some cause for the way down. Now, let's go over to Google. We take a look at Google. This is pretty amazing. Google is going to be going after its swing low out there of the 519. You hit 521 today. We'll see whether she has any juice to take that out. And that's, of course, Google's off those highs of 642. That's going back to January 19th. We take a look at Boeing, BA. Boeing out here down 26 cents today. Boeing also is back inside this April 1st time frame. Most of the equities have come back inside the February 18th time frame. That was a big number, folks. No two ways about it. You get back inside there, they're going to try to jam it down the other side. Bonds. We take a look at the 30-year bond out here. We had quite a day in bonds. Now, the 30-year, actually, I got to go bring this to the next one, US one. The 30-year bond right now, she is setting up. We're at 126.09. She's setting up. She wants to get into the 127.19. We'll see if she can make her way up to that 130. But that little baby is setting up that it wants to get into higher prices. Some of the commodities out here, this is what you had happen. You had natural gas up 2.5%. Orange juice was up 2%. We had silver up 1%. Aluminum was up 0.8. Rest of the commodities were basically pretty red. You had coffee off 3.5%, wheat off 3.5%. No, the wheat deal is a real trip. Every newspaper in the world today, not every newspaper in the world, but bottom line is that over the weekend, you had articles about it in the New York Times, the Journal this morning that, there's a big drought in wheat. Well, you know what? They sold it down big time. We're going to be right back.
Tiger University.